جاهز اللايف؟ طيب، بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Welcome to تزكية النفس, Purification of the Soul, reading from the book RiyadcAs, Tatriz, RiyadcAs, in the chapter 23, باب الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. This chapter is very important because the superiority of the Muslim nation because of this chapter, because enjoying the good, forbidding the evil. Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. So be from you a nation, enjoy to the good and command the good and forbid the evil, and this is the successful. وأيضا you have to know what is معروف, what is munkar. معروف in Arabic language means something known by the people, it's good. And munkar, something known by the people, it is bad. This is one definition. Also, al-ma'ruf, what's Allah Azza wa Jal command us to do it. And in terms of ibadat, worships, قولية, saying, فعلية, action, مالية, money, or even قلبية, heart. All this ibadat is ma'ruf. And munkar, any sins, any disobedience, any ma'asi, any major sins, backbiting, lying, all this kind of evil, munkar. And in this ayah, Allah said to be amongst you a nation who invite to the good. And the good here is Islam, to invite the other to Islam. وقال الله تعالى كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر, means you are, means the nation of Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, you are the best nation Allah created, and because you enjoy the good and forbid the evil. Without these two things, we don't have this khayriyah, we will not have this superiority. If you can see now the situation of the Muslim, more likely because of this condition. The Muslim now is inferior because they did not fulfill this verse. You have to enjoy the good and forbid the evil to be the best nation. Other than that, you will not get this superiority. أيضا Allah يقول خذ العفو, take the good, وأمر بالعرف, take forgiveness, وأمر بالعرف, and command by good tradition, وأعرض عن الجاهلين, and stay away from the foolish and the ignorant people. And also, this is not the responsibility of the male believer only. It also responsibility of the female. So male and female are responsible for this أمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. And you know the reason of Allah Azza wa Jal cares Bani Israel? Because they do not enjoy the good and forbid the evil. كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. They never forbidding the munkar that they did. And this is the reason that Allah cares them. وفي الحديث أيضا والذي نفسي بيده, by the one who is my soul in his hand, لتأمرن بالمعروف ولتنهن عن المنكر, you will enjoy the good and forbid the evil, ولتأخذن على يد المسيء, and you will hit or take on the hand of the one who disobey, ولتطرؤن على الحق أطرا أو ليضربن الله قلوب بعضكم على بعض ويلعنكم كما لعنهم. Otherwise, and you will stay steadfast on the truth, otherwise Allah will hit your hearts together, so you start to curse each other, and he cares you like he cares the previous nation. أيضا you have to know that this quality of al-amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy an munkar, it has to be with hikmah, it has to be with knowledge. So how can you enjoy the good and you don't know it is good or not? How can you forbid the evil and you don't know it is evil or not? Yani maybe, for example, you see your friend uh, did not attend to the masjid. يعني maybe you miss him for a few months and you don't see him, and then you go to him and said, "Oh brother, you are in a dangerous. You are not praying in the masjid." But maybe he pray in another masjid. Before you ask, you have to investigate. Does he pray in another masjid or what? But at least you ask him. But in order to do the forbade the evil, you have to have knowledge. Also, sometimes you may see someone driving a car next to him, a lady, and then you don't know this is lady, his wife or his sister, his mother, whatever, and then you start to tell him it's haram to have one lady in your car alone. Or maybe there's a problem. But this is so far you have to have knowledge first before you go to this kind of forbidding the evil and enjoying the good. طيب الحديث الأول رقم 184 عن أبي اقرأ عن أبي سعيد الخدري.
فقالوا عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه قال سمعت الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من رأى منكم منكرا
فليغيره
بيده فإن لم يستطيع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك
أضعف الإيمان.
رواه مسلم.
طيب the first hadith in this chapter, many of you know this hadith. طيب read translation.
Abu Sa'id al-Khudri reported that the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, whoever amongst you sees an evil, he must change it with his hand. If he is unable to do so, then with his tongue. And if he is unable to do so, then with his heart. And that is of the weakest forms of Iman.
طيب changing the munkar, the evils, has 3 levels. Depends on your ability, as well as depends on your authority, depends on the result of this changing. First, depends on your ability. Maybe you are in a situation you're not able to change the munkar that you can, you see. It's out of your control. Or maybe you are not unauthorized to change the munkar. Or maybe if you change the munkar, it will produce severe munkar more than the munkar that you have. So there are 3 things you have to consider: your ability, your authority, the result of that. It make the situation worse or it will change the situation. Before you come to change the munkar, you have to ask the question, these 3. I'm able to change this munkar? And if I'm able, I'm authorized to change the munkar? And if I'm authorized, what happens if I change the munkar? It will make the situation worse or good. So this is the question, very important. Regarding to the ability, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. If, for example, you are like young boy like you, for example, okay, and you see a gang of people drinking khamr and doing haram, and then you want to advise them and stop them to do that, and you are one boy and 6 or 7 people, are you able to change the munkar by your hand? What happened for you? خلاص, smash you. So means that ask yourself before you do that, check your ability. Are you able to change the munkar? Do you have the power? And because of that, Prophet Muhammad said, the strong believer is much better than the weak believer, and both of them have good. So to be strong believer, strong in belief as well as strong in body, in health, this is a good in order to protect yourself. Um, then I'm able to change the munkar. I have the power. I'm have muscles and I can change them. That type. Either I'm authorized to do that. So if you see the munkar in the masjid here, for example, you are imam of the masjid. You are not imam of the masjid. So go to the authorized person to change the munkar by his hand. Inside the masjid, the only one to change the munkar by his hand is the imam. Inside the school, the only one to change the munkar by his hand is the principal or the teacher inside the class. Inside any city or any place, the authorized person, if there is a police officer, if there is something who authorized that to change, this is the authorized. Inside your home, you are the boss. You can change the munkar whatever you like. No one can stop you in your home. So change the munkar in your home, you are authorized to change it. Other than that, you are not eligible to change the munkar by your hand. Then, if you are not able to change the munkar by your hand, you keep silent. Okay. Then you ask yourself, what happens if I change the munkar by my tongue? Is that make the situation worse or change the situation? And what is the benefit I will get if I change the munkar by my tongue? It be more benefit or less benefit, or does it matter? So you have to balance. And then after that, if you're not able to change the munkar by your tongue, you change it by your heart. And this is something very confusing. How can you change the munkar by your heart? For example, you are sitting in a place and people listening music, dancing, and you sit with them, and you said, okay, I changed my munkar by my heart. I will sit with them, just I'm not sitting. Is that correct? Change the munkar by your heart means that the people can see in your face that you are unhappy with that they are doing. People can check in your face and you recognize they are doing something wrong. People can identify you as you are not happy with that, but you don't have option to change. If you are able to do that, this means that you change by your heart. But don't think that you can say I keep have a friendship with these boys who doing such and such, but from my heart I dislike this action. This is not actually a good. So changing by heart means that you have to give them an impression that you are not happy with that you are, with they are doing. You're not satisfied what they are doing. But changing with your heart does not mean that you join them and be happy with them and that's it. You said, okay, my heart dislike, but I cannot do anything. No, this is not the change by munkar by your heart. طيب, if we apply this hadith to us as a public people, as a normal people, especially in Muslim country, because this hadith in Muslim country especially misunderstood and practice this hadith incorrectly. Change the munkar in a Muslim country because you have a Muslim ruler. And Muslim ruler, as we will know later, since he's a Muslim, he has the authority to listen and to obey. You have to listen to his command and obey his command, since it is not against Shar'ullah, since it is not commanded you something haram. Even he's a fasiq, yes, even he's a fasiq. Even he is an oppressor, even he's an oppressor, but he's a Muslim. And the Prophet Muhammad sallam, as we will see in next few hadiths, emphasizes in this point especially. So if you are in a Muslim country and you want to change the munkar of your ruler, but this munkar is not kufr, be careful. It is munkar but not kufr. He's still believer. Here is from the manhaj of Ahl Sunnah that we are not allowed to change the munkar against our ruler by our hand, This is the concept of the Khawarij. Khawarij who came in the time on the time of Ali ibn Abi Talib, and then they fight him because they misunderstood the verses of the Quran, and they judge as Ali ibn Abi Talib as a kafir because he listened to the advice of the people in both sides, the side of him and the side of Muawiyah radiallahu anhum jami'an, and they stopped fighting, while the other Khawarij said that you didn't follow the Shar'ullah, because Shar'ullah, that you are the ruler, you are the Khalifa, and you have the authority to fight with them, and then you refuse this authority and you accept the ruling of the people. So according to ayah, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ, and whoever do not judge by Allah revelation, it is among the kafirun. And this is misunderstanding of the verse. So if there is a Muslim ruler, oppressor, or he is corrupted, you have to advise by a way that you can get the benefit. Advising the Muslim ruler has to be in private, not on the public, not on the social media, not on such and such, because this will not change the situation. It may make it more worse. And we will know later how the response if this ruler show a kufr act. Here is I'm saying only about the one who show a fisq, a corruption act. طيب الحديث الثاني عن ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: ما من نبي بعثه الله في أمة قبلي إلا كان له من أمتي حواريون وأصحاب يأخذون بسنته ويقتدون بأمره، ثم إنها تخلف من بعدهم خلوف، يعني أجيال، يقولون ما لا يفعلون ويفعلون ما لا يؤمرون، فمن جاهدهم بيده فهو مؤمن، ومن جاهدهم بقلبه فهو مؤمن، ومن جاهدهم بلسانه فهو مؤمن، وليس وراء ذلك من الإيمان حبة خردل. حبة خردل. الحواريون هم الأصفياء الناصرون. Translation.
Abdullah bin Mas'ud reported Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, never a prophet had come sent before me by Allah to his people, but he had among his people his disciples and companions who followed his ways and obeyed his command. Then there came after them their successors, who proclaimed what they did not practice. What they did not practice and practiced what they were not commanded to do. And he who strove against them with his hand is a believer, and he who strove against them with his heart is a believer, and he who strove against them with his tongue is a believer, and beyond that there is no grain of faith.
Type grain of master faith. Okay, this hadith also, if you can see, it has a relation with the previous one. But here is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam add another point. Another point that every nation, Allah send a prophet for every nation. It has a companions, a close friend, a close companion who follow his practice, his sunnah, and command and follow his commands. And then the successors of this nation, it is different. They say something and they do the opposite. And they do something which is not has been command to do. In this case, Prophet Muhammad sallam advised us, if you see this situation in the successors, you have to change that. By your hand, you be believer. By your heart also you be believer. By your tongue you be believer. And other than that, it is not indication of the belief. So means that if you are not able to show or to strive these people who deviated from the Sunnah in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam by your heart, this means that you have something in your belief. And this does not mean that you are not a Muslim, but you're still imperfect Muslim. And this showed for us that the Iman is levels. So as a comparison, the one who changed the munkar by his hand is stronger than the one who changed the munkar by his tongue stronger than the one who changed the munkar by his heart. This means that the iman is varies. The level of the iman, the degree of the iman is varies. And this is comes with the same belief of Ahl Sunnah that iman increases and decreases. It does not constant. And the iman of the people varies from people to people, from heart to heart. This is the concept of Ahl Sunnah. Um, and this hadith also shows the importance of following Sunnatul Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The importance of following the command of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and also shows the dangers of the successors who comes after the Prophet and any righteous group. And normally, if you look to the Muslim from 1,000 years and now, look how is the difference in akhlaq, in qualities of the morality, in qualities of the manners. It different varies. So time by time, you will see a lot of differences in terms of the Muslim quality. So, and may Allah save us and save all the Muslim. Ameen. Rabbil Alam. In this hadith showed, as we explained, that there is a variation in the level of the iman. And if someone does not change the munkar by his heart, means that he happy with the munkar with his heart, he can be in a place where there is some ma'asi, some of the fisq, some of the evils, and you happy with that, you have to consider your iman. You have to check your iman. Your iman is very weak in this case, because this hadith in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if you are not able to change the munkar by your heart, there is nothing like that in terms of iman. Means that even it is not equal to a weight of a mustard seed. It means that your iman is very little if you not able even to change the munkar by your heart. I can accept that we cannot change the munkar by hand, of course. As we explained, it has to be certain condition in order to change the munkar by your hand. You have to be authorized person who changes that, and also you have to check that there is no worse condition happen if you change by your hand. A lot of things you have to apply it, but why by your heart? What is the thing that stop you? What is the thing that you stop you to show to your friend who doing something haram that you are unhappy from his action? What is the wrong? What is the challenge that you will face if you stop talking to him, but up to 3 days, to show that you not unhappy with his action? If you have a friend, he does not praying, and then you still join him, eat with him, and go with him everywhere, what's going on? Where's your heart in this case? You have to show to him that you are unhappy from this action. This is a minimum belief if you want to have a belief. طيب الحديث الثالث وعن أبي الوليد عبادة الصامت رضي الله عنه. Very important hadith. Be careful. قال بايعنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على السمع والطاعة في العسر واليسر والمنشط والمكره وعلى أثرة علينا والمكره وعلى أثرة علينا وعلى ألا ننازع الأمر أهله إلا أن تروا كفرا بواحا عندكم من الله تعالى فيه برهان وعلى أن نقول بالحق أينما كنا لا نخاف في الله لومة لائم. متفق عليه. المنشط والمكره بفتح ميمهما أي في السهل والصعب، والأثر الاختصاص بالمشترك وقد سبق بيانها. بواحا بفتح الباء الموحدة بعدها وواوا ثم ألف ثم حاء مهملة أي ظاهرا أي لا يحتمل تأويلا. Translation.
عبيدة بن الصامت رضي الله عنه
الصامت
reported, we swore allegiance to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to hear and obey in time of difficulty and in time of prosperity, in hardship and in ease, to endure being discriminated against, and not to dispute about rule with those in power, except in case of evident infidelity regarding which there is no proof of Allah. We swore allegiance to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to say what was right wherever we were, and not to fear from anyone's reproach.
طيب this بيعة, this طيب راهل طيب this بيعة or treaty that the Sahaba gave it to Prophet Muhammad sallam, the covenant that they gave it to him, this is not only for him. This is extended for anyone who have authority. A Muslim have authority. And Prophet Muhammad sallam took from the Sahaba this bay'ah to be applied for the successors as well. Bay'ah to obey and listen, listen and obey. Even you are in easiness or hardness. And even you will see a favoritism from the ruler, from the authorized person, from your teacher. For example, you see your teacher have a favorite student than the other. I'm talking about the Muslim teacher, of course. So this ruling only applies for the Muslim. And you see that, you will see it everywhere. Some of the country, as you can see, the Muslim country, there is some special group of people around the ruler, and they have all the advantages, all the wealth, all the that, and he brings them with him. You will see it. Prophet Muhammad sallam said that, and this is the truth. What we should do in this case? Look, you have to differentiate between the deen and the dunya, the religion and the life. Any command from the ruler in a deen against the rule of Allah Azza wa Jal, no listen, no obey. This is a rule. Type. Any command from the ruler, the Muslim ruler, in the dunya issue, the dunya life, the life affairs, whatever it is against you or you dislike you, since it's in a dunya, based with hadith, listen and obey. But in a deen, no listen, no obey. And also in this hadith, Prophet Muhammad said that you should not fight the authority in your country, the Muslim authority in your country, unless you will see from them a kufr bawah, a pure kufr. Here is a condition here. First, you will see some obvious, not suspicion. You have a confidence this is kufr. You see kufr in front of you. And also kufr bawah. It is pure, means it has no other meaning. But here, عندكم من الله فيه برهان. And also, it's not only see, not only obvious, but there is an evidence from Allah Azza wa Jal. This is kufr. And who can bring this evidence? Me and you? No. It has to be from scholar, not any scholar. A mujtahid scholar. A scholar who has ijtihad. Ijtihad in deen, there are very few scholars have ijtihad. Especially the absolute mujtahid, al-mujtahid al-mutlaq. You can count on the finger, on the hand. Very, very few to find a scholar with ijtihad mutlaq, who do not follow any specific madhab, and he can identify the situation directly from the Quran and Sunnah for the thing that newly things, and he not affected by any other influences around. Not easy to find this scholar. And this is the only one who can determine this kufr bawah or not. If there is a kufr bawah, here is another stage of action. For example, if the ruler, the Muslim rulers, announce in the news, from tomorrow, drinking khamr in this country is allowed, and khamr no longer haram. This kufr bawah. Type. We agreed about that. Type. What next? What next is happen? Something like that from the ruler. You have to consider how you change that. You have to come to the point, how can I change the munkar here? By hand, by heart, by tongue, by heart. And do I have, and at the beginning of the lesson, I said there are three things you have to check. First, your ability. Second, your authority. Third, what happened what is the result of this action? It will become more worse than we have or not. Like, for example, if you see a kufr bawah from the ruler, and then you take a knife, and then he have a gun and a rockets and air force, does that make sense? Are you able to change the munkar by your hand in this case? With knife? Or even with gun? In presence of the army or that? What happened as a result of that? If someone want to change the munkar, I'm saying the munkar, he is a kufr, pure kufr. Because if still this munkar under the kufr, it means not reach the kufr, you're not able to change the munkar by your hand at all. It is not from Ahl Sunnah perspective to fight the ruler, the Muslim ruler, with a weapon, to rebel on the Muslim ruler, or to exit from the authority of the Muslim ruler. Even the oppressor, even they are corrupted. I'm saying now, this still under the kufr, not reach the kufr. Also, you have to consider what is the result of this changing. It will make the situation more worse or not. And you look to the history. I will back to the history on the time of the Umayyad state. Before Umayyad state, after Ali ibn Abi Talib anhu has been killed, the Muslim nominate his son Al-Hasan ibn Ali as a Khalifa. And on the other hand, in the Sham, they nominate Muawiyah radiallahu anhu as a Khalifa as well. But his Khilafah is incomplete because Al-Hasan ibn Ali radiallahu anhu, his Khilafah is taking bay'ah from every country except Sham. And then after 6 months, Al-Hasan ibn Ali radiallahu anhu resigned to save the blood of the Muslim. On the other hand, Muawiyah radiallahu anhu spent 20 years as a Khalifa. This was the most, in this time, the Islam has been expanded everywhere in his time, radiallahu anhu. But before he passed away, he he appointed his son Yazid. There is no agreement between the Muslim about his Khilafah, because in his time there is Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu, Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiallahu anhu, a Sahaba, and Yazid is not Sahabi, and is not a righteous person like Sahaba. He has some problem like the normal youth. He's not eligible to be a Khalifa in this time. On the other hand, he tried to take the bay'ah by force from the Muslim everywhere. He got the bay'ah for all the country except Al-Hijaz, means Mecca and Medina. And this case, as you know, Al-Hussein radiallahu anhu, he received messages from different places in Iraq. It reached 40,000 message to give him the bay'ah and come to their place, and we support you and such and such. And you know what happened in Karbala, and Hussein radiallahu anhu has been martyred in this ghazwa, in this battle. And then Yazid established his king, but he just few months and he passed away. And then his son is very weak. He came for few months as well. On the other hand, Abdullah ibn Zubayr, the son of Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, and Asma bint Abi Bakr, the first boy who born in Islam in Hijrah, after Hijrah, he got the bay'ah for all the countries except Damascus, except Sham. And the Sham, it reluctant to him for 9 years. So he established Khilafah everywhere 9 years, but except from the Sham. And the shahid here, Abdullah ibn Zubayr, after he established the Khilafah for 9 years, Al-Hajjaj ibn al-Thaqafi, who was the wali, the emir of Iraq, came by an army, and as you know, he killed Abdullah ibn Zubayr, and then he established the Khilafah now for all Bani Umayyah. After that, the shahid, the story I just said here. On the army of Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, who was a Khalifa, there is a leader called Abdurrahman ibn al-Ash'ath. He went to jihad toward Turkey with 100,000 Muslim warriors. And then Al-Hajjaj ibn Thaqafi asked him to keep going and don't stop. But it was a time of winter and the ice start to comes. And he said to him, let us take rest. And then Al-Hajjaj, unhappy with that, and he sent him a very rough letter, insulted him. And he, in this case, what happened from this Abdurrahman al-Ash'as? He exit from the ruler now. Although this ruler is oppressor. Although, Al-Hajjaj is a very oppressor. He killed a lot of people, but still Muslim. And he exit from his ruling. And he has 100 warriors with weapon, with equipment, with everything. And then he went from that army and he announced himself as a wali, as a prince of Iraq, and he fight with Al-Hajjaj. You know what happened after that? He has 120,000 person with him. Al-Hajjaj and Bani Umayyah prepared a big army and went to fight Abdurrahman ibn al-Ash'ath. And the end of this fighting, 100,000 has been killed, and Abdurrahman ibn al-Ash'ath went to the top of the mountain and he threw himself and he died. This is the end. Because he exit from the rulers, although the ruler is the oppressor, although the ruler is a killer. And you have to consider, although he has the ability, as you can see, he has 120,000 warriors. But at the end, this is the situation and this is the history. We are not saying something not mentioned. And every time you look to the history, this is a situation. If you see any nation exit from the ruler authority, the ruler Muslim authority, you know what is the result happen. طيب حديث نمبر 4. وعن نعمان بن بشير رضي الله عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال مثل القائم في حدود الله والواقع فيها كمثل قوم استهموا على سفينة فصار بعضهم أعلاها وبعضهم أسفلها وكان الذين في أسفلها إذا استقوا من الماء مروا على من فوقهم فقالوا لو أنا خرقنا في نصيبنا خرقا ولم نؤذي من فوقنا فإن تركوهم وما أرادوا هلكوا جميعا وإن أخذوا على أيديهم نجوا ونجوا جميعا. رواه البخاري. القائم في حدود الله تعالى معناه المنكر لها القائم في دفعها وإزالتها والمراد بالحدود ما نهى الله عنه استهموا يعني اقترعوا. نعم.
نعمان ibn Bashir radiallahu anhu reported that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the likeness of the man who observes the limits prescribed by Allah Azza wa Jal, and that of the man who transgresses them is like the people who get on a boat, a barge, who get on a board, a ship, after chasing lots, casting lots. Some of them are in its lower deck, and some of them in its upper deck. Those who are in its lower deck, when they require water, go to the top occupants of the upper deck and say to them, if we make a hole in the bottom of the ship, we shall not harm you. If the occupants of the upper deck, leave them to carry out their design, they will all be drowned. But if they do not let them go ahead with their plan, all of them will remain safe. Bukhari.
طيب النعمان بن بشير, as we mentioned just from a few minutes, Abdullah ibn Zubayr, who is the first boy who born in Islam after Hijrah from Al-Muhajirin, and Nu'man ibn Bashir is the first boy who born in Islam in Hijrah from Al-Ansar. And Nu'man ibn Bashir, you know how is his old when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away? Give me any number. About 8 years old. And although he was 8 years old, he narrated many hadiths from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And one of these hadiths, it is regarded as third of the deen. The deen, according to scholar, has been summarized in 3 hadiths. Hadith Umar ibn Khattab, إنما الأعمال بالنيات. indeed action by intention, because the deen important for the amal to be accepted, the intention. The second hadith, which is the second third of the deen, hadith Aisha radiallahu anha, man ahdatha fi amrina ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad. Whoever introduce in our affairs something not from it, it is invalid. Because if you have intention and you do the action which is not according to Sunnah Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it will be invalid as well. So this is the second, third one. Hadith An-Nu'man al-Bashir, who narrated hadith Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is the third part of the deen, inna al-halala bayyin wal-harama bayyin wa baynahuma umurun mushtabihat. So the halal is obvious, haram is obvious, and between them are doubtful things. This is the rest of the deen, halal and haram. So these three hadiths, it is compromise and contain the deen, every part of the deen. So, in this hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam shows how is that we should take on the hand on the one who corrupt in the place, that we share the place, and if we leave him, every one of us will be in a dangerous. Here's the situation: you are in a place, like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam give an example. You are in a booth, and there is a two level, the second level and the first level, and the one in the lower level, and instead of going up to he want to dig a hole in the called deck, and then take the water from the sea directly. But if the second level lifts him, what will happen for the boat? Drown. صح. This is example the same. If someone standing to keep the hududullah fulfill, to keep the limit of Allah fulfill. On the other hand, someone who transgress and exceeds the limit of Allah is the same example like this example that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave it in this book. And this is the way of teaching. You have to bring some example if you want to pay attention for the audience, especially the teacher. You have to bring an example that help the student to be understand the lesson. And this showed us the importance of taking on the hand of the one who corrupt the place. You share this place, and there is a mutual benefit between each one of you. طيب, حديث number 5 عن أم المؤمنين أم سلمة هند بنت أبي أمية حذيفة رضي الله عنها عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال إنه يستعمل عليكم أمراء فتعرفون وتنكرون فمن كره فقد برئ ومن أنكر فقد سلم. الله. ولكن من رضي وتابع قالوا يا رسول الله ألا نقاتلهم؟ قال لا ما أقاموا فيكم الصلاة. رواه مسلم. معناه من كره بقلبه ولم يستطع إنكارا بيد ولا لسان فقد برئ من الإثم وأدى وظيفته ومن أنكر بحسب طاقته فقد سلم من هذه المعصية ومن رضي بفعلهم وتابعهم فهو العاصي. نعم.
سلمة رضي الله عنها reported الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم said, you have rulers, some of whom you approve and some of whom you will disapprove. He who dislikes them will be safe, and he who expresses disapproval will be safe. But he who is pleased and follows them will be indeed sinful. His audience asked, shall we not fight them? He replied, no, as long as they establish salat amongst you, Muslim.
طيب, another evidence. Even the ruler is a fasiq. Even the ruler is a corrupted. Since they still establish salah in the country, you are not allowed to fight them. Clear for hadith واضح صحيح. And then someone come and say we have to fight our ruler because they are oppressor. We have to fight our ruler because they are do such and such. So what about this hadith? What do you say this hadith in front of Allah Azza wa Jal when you exit from the authority of your ruler? A Muslim ruler, even the oppressor, this dunya. What is the end of the dunya? Khalas, the grave. But if you disobey Allah Azza wa Jalla and His Prophet, you don't know what happened to you in your grave. And as I said, you have to differentiate between the dunya issue and with the deen issue. The dunya issue, listen and obey, even you are oppressed. The deen issue, no listen, no obey. طيب, also, this hadith showed that very important. ما أقاموا فيكم الصلاة means that if they do not establish salah, this could be like a kufr bawah, a pure kufr. Is that mean that anyone who did not pray is a kafir? It seems to be that this is a direct evidence about the one who leaves the salah totally is a kafir. Because Prophet Muhammad said here a condition to fight them. You cannot fight them since they are established salah. So is that means that if they do not establish salah, means they are a kuffar, so I can't fight them. That means the one who didn't pray is a kafir. Sure, without any doubt. Anyone who do not pray totally, he's a kafir. As we explained yesterday in the fiqh, the difference is if he pray few days and then stop. This difference here. The worst or the least hukm is fasiq. Although still, as we mentioned in the fiqh, Hanbali said it is a kafir. Even he pray one day or few days and they left, he still have to pray all the days. طيب, here is the hadith showed that if you are in this situation and there is a ruler who oppressor, but you have also to show that you dislike that. You have to show inkar. But this inkar or this feeling, if you do that, but it's not by hand. If you do that, you'll be safe in the front of Allah Azza wa Jal. And if you refuse that, you'll be safe. But if you accept and follow that, means that you happy with that from your heart, you'll be in dangerous. But at the end, you are not able to fight them since they still establish the salah in the place. طب last حديث إن شاء الله. عن أم المؤمنين أم الحكم زينب بنت جحش رضي الله عنها أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم دخل عليها فزعا يقول لا إله إلا الله ويل للعرب من شر قد اقترب فتح اليوم من ردم يأجوج ومأجوج مثل هذه وحلق بإصبعيه الإبهام والتي تليها فقلت يا رسول الله أنهلك وفينا الصالحون قال نعم إذا كثر الخبث. نعم.
زينب رضي الله عنها reported that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to visit me one day frightened, and he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah. Woe to the Arabs because of an evil which has drawn near. Today an opening of this size has been made in the barrier restraining Juj and Ma'juj. And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam made a circle with his thumb and his index finger. I said, O Messenger of Allah, shall we perish while still there be righteous people amongst us? He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam replied, yes, then wickedness prevails.
طيب أفضل أذان يكون.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Just quickly, this hadith, one of the sign that Prophet Muhammad SAW is a true prophet from Allah Azza wa Jal. It showed that the shar, the evil that will happen after him will so close, and it started from the deaths of Uthman ibn Affan. Since this evil start, all the evils keep going. And also it showed the one of the sign of the major sign of Yawm al-Qiyamah, Ya'juj and Ma'juj. As you know, there are 10 major signs. Start with Dajjal, then descending of Isa ibn Maryam from the second heaven, then Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and then the third one, the animal or the beast that will speak with the people and stamp on the nose as a hypocrite, and also the smoke that will come and will kill the disbeliever, and also the three great earthquakes, one is the east, one is the west, one is the Arab area, and also will be the sun will come from the west instead of the east, and then the smoke we mentioned, and then the last one is the fire will come from the Adan to push the people towards the resurrection land. And this hadith showed that because Sayyidah Zainab was wondering how we destroyed and there are righteous people among us. This is an equation. Even there is a righteous people, but the corruption is more, this will be the destruction come. So this is because the ummah did not do enjoying the good and forbidding the evil. So the corruption increases. Even the righteous people is there, but the corruption is more than them. And the end of that, everyone will be destroyed. Doesn't matter, is a righteous, he will be resurrected on his intention, as a righteous intention, and the other one will be punished based on his intention. By stopping that, inshallah. See you inshallah next week, inshallah. Yeah, cool. جزاك الله خير.